I would just like to thank all of my colleagues who have asked me to do this interview. So, to answer all these questions, I've written out a document and it reads, when I walk into my classroom, I see an array of languages, stories, and rhythms with each student carrying with them a world of experiences, values, and dreams. It's my job, our job, and passion to recognize that these worlds are an asset and not a barrier. Because in truth, teaching English learners isn't about making students fit a mold, it's about tapping into the brilliance that they already hold. Culture isn't an add on, but rather it's a pulse that drives real learning. When I plan, I build in literature that echoes students' histories, math problems using names and settings familiar to them, like our CGI program, and invite students to bring in artifacts that tell the story of their families on our Fun Fridays. These choices say you belong. They turn the classroom into a canvas for pride and for self expression. Even our walls reflect this: maps, bilingual labels, and books, and student art that spark daily conversation about our roots and their roots, forming a living, breathing classroom culture. I intentionally work to build my cultural competence, seeking out what students value and how they see the world. It's not enough to just acknowledge the differences. We have to empower them. I invite students and families into the curriculum. I want them to understand it. Heritage storytelling circles, multicultural read alouds, and collaborative projects allow EL's identities to shape the learning for everyone, including them. Every class that I make space for home language by encouraging students to brainstorm in Spanish, Arabic, and Somali, in which I had all of them last year, before sharing in English. This translanguaging honors both where they're from, where they're going, and accelerating both language development and confidence. Responsive teaching means adjusting my playlist for each learner. ELs have different tempos, with some shining through art, others through debate, some through written word, and others through the same debate. I use graphic organizers, visuals, and tech tools to scaffold content and match students with buddies, fluent in their home language. For students with special needs, those supports become even more individualized, especially those who are ELs. Tactile tools, sentence starters, and alternative modes for, for demonstrating understanding. My educational ethos is very clear. Meet them where they are, celebrate every progression, and remix strategies until they are sore. For social and emotional needs, I make connection part of every single day. We kick off with mood meters. Love the mood meters. A hub for or gratitude notes as well, which we'll do on post-its, and we try to do them as much as we can, but mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays. We share music that makes us feel at home and pause for conversation around challenges that ELs might face. Respectful routines like pronouncing names correctly, which we make it a point to do in my classroom, honoring cultural holidays and using multilingual greetings are how I set the rhythm for that trust. Families and community are also the partners and never afterthoughts. I make it a point. I reach out with newsletters and videos to families in their home language using messaging apps with translation features and invite relatives to share their ideas, their traditions, their music, and their professions with our class. We host community map nights. We hope to have more, but we've just started. And in those nights, we ask things like, what gifts do you want to give your children? Or what gifts do you want your children to bring to school for other students, or to show other students how you celebrate your culture? These are the types of funds and these are the types of things through knowledge that we can use to become a bridge and build a bridge and connecting what's learned at home and at school. And don't let us forget that we all have something to teach. In my class, families co-write the script. I create resource nights. As we said before, we invite cultural community artists and make sure that the door is always open for anyone who's able to add to the EL's success. Inclusive events aren't just open to all, they're about building the community, building the people that are in the community, and building those community voices. And at the core of it, it's all about the asset based mindset, one that celebrates, not just accommodates. And when we move away from thinking ELs as differences and as deficits and start seeing them as the baseline and the innovation for joy, our classmates, our classrooms, and overall our schools become the possibility to multiply. Each student, each language is a part of our brand, a part of our band, and a part of our voice. And we look forward to making every child, including our ELs, feel a part of that band. Thank you.